We're back with another video on this historical event. Judgment has come to this white man's world. Now, the U.S. is on high alert over the coldest vortex that they didn't have over 100 years. Famine that has come all from the east to the north, to the west, and to the south. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. And now she can't escape from this judgment that God is bringing to a nation. This is her trouble today. So I'm here to say it been thou far. It been a year that God has been pledging America day and night. Just look at the weather. Rain, snow, hail, earthquakes, and many other related pledge. Can you not see that God is coming near a city that where most of you may live? Can you not see that God is after you? For all the evil what America has done? And the country can never be said to be the white man's own. But after conquering over the native Indians who had the independent claim called the country of America. Can you not see that God has been after America? And you see Trump, he can't make America great. Y'all vote for him. Here's your leader that she can never escape the divine judgment. Now God has brought the ginger man to the White House. Because listen carefully now. America is in trouble. And see, America will not escape the divine judgment that's coming on her. And see, my brothers and sisters, I'm not crazy and I'm not drunk. But how long have you been mistreated? And how long that America is going to escape the judgment and wrath of God? Now they ask me about the president morality. Well, how you feel about this president morality? Well, I said, what kind of president that we ever had that was moral? You see, the president disgraced the overall office of what he did with Monica Lewinsky. You see, murder was found in this overall office. You see, in the killing of kings and rulers, the nation was heads and outlaws and masters of assassinators. You see, they raped our women and gave them babies, but never of their own children. So you see, the founding fathers were slaves in this overall office. So when has this overall office ever been a moral place? So if my words threaten you, then wait till I finish. You see, many of us, we play with God, but we want God to be merciful and all loving. And yes, he loves us, all right. But he kills people out of that very same love. And you can put Hitler, Genghis Khan, Tabla Khan, Tamerlane. You can put them all in the same vote. But notice that they never killed as many people as God. But you see, God kills and destroys people out of his love of righteousness. And he hates us when we refuse to bow down before it's this too late. Now, how many of us had some good parents? You had that good mother and father warn you and says, hey, now look, you're doing wrong. Now please change from your behavior. And then all of a sudden now, you get this letter in the mail that they was dead. Now at least you can say, I tried all that I can. And the reason why the young brother sing you that very sad song, he done all that he can to warn you that death has entered into America. One disaster after another. Oh, my brothers and sisters, get a grip. What do you think this rain is? And what do you think these winds is? And what do you think the unusual rain, the unusual snow, the violent winds, the pestilence? You see, famine is here. And more famine is on its way. And Mickey D's won't be able to give you that burger. And the Bible says you will look at your own fat children. Very strange. You see, America don't have a future. She don't have no future for you. You see, a divine action has come, and no one wants to sit with white America because her doom has approached. Her time has come, and no one wants to sit with her. And you see, with the help of FEMA, they said we're going to rebuild after what God has come to destroy. They said we will rebuild the ruin, but this is what the Lord host says. They may build, but I will demolish, and you shall see this with your eyes. And you shall say, great is the Lord beyond the border of Israel. Now, Trump is the last hope for America. See, God put him in office to try you. But you're not going to put this country in a position that it will be great again. Because America will never become great. You see, she's on the verge of falling. And God is coming to a city near where you live. The judgment of white America has come. Black slaves went to their death fighting the enemy of this white slave master to help America to maintain her independency against force and dominancy. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for his sacrifice. When the dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master will sometimes share a part of the game with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome and to put other people under his control of his white slave master. The black slave have fought and died around this earth to help this white slave master conquer those whom the white slave master called his enemies. We helped this white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippine Islands, and other places around the earth, and also Japan. How many lives did this black man lose in the Pacific while helping this white man to conquer the people of Japan, who are the brown half brothers of the black man? The brown race and the yellow race are half brothers of the black man. Who independency? Now the white man and the black man are both free on this day. See, the coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. The clear of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere that this white man may be, even in Europe, the earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on this day, the 4th of July, and the coming of Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, and give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independency he brought to us, the freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the red Indians, nor any original settlers. See, justice and righteousness are used by Allah, God. Independency. Independency means to be free of the dominancy of others. It's a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. See, the right race in the Western Hemisphere takes this day of July 4th, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of their achieving independence from other people. The white race in the Western Hemisphere had to conquer the Indians, who had the independent claim on the country now called America. Then the white race in America cut off the ties of England and France and became the independent holders of the present country called America in the Western Hemisphere. The white race was not satisfied with only a new country to itself. They wanted the country built, but the white man was afraid to trust himself to build the country So he goes to other countries that were civilized and uncivilized. Africa. From Africa, he took our black people as slaves and used us for hard labor purpose. Now the white race have achieved those desires now. And he has the glorious things that man can enjoy. Freedom. The country of America cannot be said to be the white man's own. But with having the freedom and the power to overcome the native Indians of this country, the white race in America takes this day, July 4th, to celebrate the joy of independency of others. As thou hast done, so shall it be done to you. Someone's about to take away your joyful independency. The white race here in America have done the worst to the black people who helped the white man to build up this country of America, to make it suitable, to bring in this joyful independency. But the white race in America have angered God due to the evil done to us after 400 years here under this white race. The white race still desire to mistreat and to kill us all day long. The white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating this white man for mistreating the black slave. But the white man makes the black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreat him, the black slave will not dislike the white man for mistreating him. Now the time of God has arrived. The time that Allah God must separate this black slave and his white slave master and bring freedom to the black slave. So we see the power of our enemy being broken by God and destroying the power of this white man's power to maintain his sway over the whole world. Independency is fine if we can keep and maintain independency, but there is a dark cloud of trouble now springing over the country of America. The dark cloud makes her once freedom of thought and action become instead a freedom of death, hell, and destruction. It is awful to think over the things of evil and the trouble that are now coming upon the glorified North America. The poor black slave number now into tens of millions of black people never knew anything of the joy of freedom because this victorious enemy, like a young lion, as Daniel give it in the Bible, has made this black slave a prey to all of this white man wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that the white man is enjoying freedom over us and celebrate this white man's independency? We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. The only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship and are able to call a day our day of freedom is when we are free from white America and free from any other nation and become independency with some in this earth that we can call our own. Then we can say that this is a freedom day and holiday for us. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try to go from that what binds us to others. Slavery in Alabama and Mississippi. The white man trichology is always being trumpeted to the world that they are peace lovers, as though they want all people, as they falsely claim, to be free and to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and million black people in America who is they served to slave 100 years ago. Now for 100 years, the slave master children falsely claim that we are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people. It has come to me that in the states of Alabama and the country of Alabama, there are big plantations owned by white people and their stately White House set up on hills, and the slaves live in the surrounding stocks. These black people work hard for very small pay. It is said by some that the salary range from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. Rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. This kind of slavery goes on through generation. See, one generation after another is subject to this slave way of life and what is called a free world. in order to keep these black people in this type of slavery. See, the owner had mounted a guard patrolling the plantation with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse to see that there is no black interference from the outside to entice the enslaved black on the inside of his plantation to come in the bare area for better wages. These people grow up there and they die there on the plantation. Some of them never knew civilization. They are sci-fi because they know another life, but the slave life that the fathers and grandfathers have been living under. We hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country of Alabama, but in other states such as Mississippi and Georgia. A year ago, when I was a young man in Georgia, I heard that such slavery on large plantation was going on in certain areas in Georgia. People will go to the farm there, and the poor man probably owns another white farmer. And then this white farmer pays the debit that he owns the other white farmers. And then the black man becomes the slave, the balance of his and his family life on the plantation of this white man who pays the debit to a previous white plantation owner. As long as he lives, he never pays that debit. This is the worst injustice and the worst cruel slavery of all. They are shot and killed or beaten to death if they are found to try to leave a plantation. The white owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear, be their informers, what is said and planned by the blacks. It had been told to me in my younger life that certain rivers, lakes, and water wilderness like places carrying the bones and skulls of many black slaves from these plantations, so-called freedom times, in the age of slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states where Miss George Wallace was running for president, he could make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. These black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office, or even an old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. The black people in the South have been brought up for many years and for centuries to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among free people. These black people become the most ignorant and the most terrified people of whites that there are in the country of America. And the white man knows this. He gets rich. He builds himself a fine luxurious home on the plantation. And as far as he can see, he claims that the land is his. And the poor slave are living in the worst stocks. When the rain comes, some of them have to go to their walls of the house with piles to catch the rain coming through their almost open roofs. When winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces trying to keep warm. These are the worst living conditions of human being that could even be in the jungle Africa, where they do not have saw malls or big skins to saw timbers into limbers and to mold bricks. America have everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home, cold home, to give her slave a good living wages. Because our fathers for 400 years have already supplied the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary of life. It is pitiful to go into these southern areas out in the ritual district and see it, how after 400 years, the wicked sun-burnt, killed-nosed, tobacco-juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery condition, crushing them to death and diseasing them. Children are coming up suffering from malnutrition. Fevers and other diseases capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to the hole in the ground in the South without anything like honor or their death. They are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. The black man of America is so mistreated by a 400-year-old slave master and the slave master children that you just cannot describe any other mistreatment of human being. The evil and ill treatment that the black man has to still suffer in America today. In many towns and cities of the southern states and even their capitals, you'll find a black man living in a bad condition. His toilet It's sometimes an open and boarded up place stinking right there in the city, diseasing the citizens because of that evil demon, the white man who wants to give all the ill he can to the people who have served him as slave for 400 years. See, this is going on in the South. Go see it for yourself. The U.S. malls come into these towns and cities in some places. The black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their mail. Then they are treated like dogs, as though the white devil are giving him something free, while the sinners of the mail have paid the tax for the postal carriers to bring it to the other doors. Little black children are walking around with sore pus running out of them for the lack of medical attention. Little black children are dying of disease, right? And the false freedom of this old USA. The black people are cowered down by the victorious enemy who keeps his gun loaded to blow them down. And every happy, one-sided, grinded mouth policeman or sheriff seeking just the slightest chance to kill a Negro. You only have to say to his brother devil judge that he has to kill a Negro. And the judge look at him and give him a big smile and a hand clap, as though he did not kill enough. You are to kill all of them. I have heard from their mouth when I live in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South, and the white people should kill off some of them. There are more Negroes than whites, and the white man should kill off some of these Negroes. What chance does this black man have under the shadow of American governments for freedom, justice, and equality? I thank Allah and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who would have come to deliver the black man in America and to kill our oppressors. This is very good, and we should be shouting day and night that a deliverer has come. The revelation of the Bible have given this people the right name, a beast. And the most victorious description does this revelation gives. In Daniel of the Bible, this people is described as a beast rising up out of the sea with 3 ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America with the black slaves swallowed for 3 centuries and the power of our enemies, the devils. The black man of the South will be a fool to vote for any white man of the South to rule him. He should stay away from the poll, because the white man for whom he vote is an enemy of his. He is bound to tighten the shackles tighter than ever. The preacher enforcing the law, and that law is unjust law directed against the black man. Vote for Allah and for his servant, Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah God, who have come in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. All the prophecies in the Bible of what he would do in freeing this black man of America will be fulfilled. Let us submit to him and live in peace with money and good homes and with the friendship of God and the righteous. There is nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. It is useless for us to fear our enemies after the coming and presence of God, who have power over the very atom of life. For it's fear of this white man that will cause our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man if they do not recognize the fact that it is God whom they should fear and not the devil. The world of the white man is now crumbling and coming to nothing. The safety of the black man is his God, as the Holy Quran teach us in this day and time. Seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He's the only place of refuge. We have made America one of the richest and strongest people on earth. Her mighty navies commanding the high seas, with her undersea cliff crawling on the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities of other than America, and with listening devices set up throughout the earth on land, sea, and the air to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing she is guilty and deserving death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She had prepared to put up a mighty battle, but Allah too had prepared, and he is the best preparer, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made. They have not the slightest chance today against the power of Allah that is working against them, even through the force of nature. The white race have been discussing the entire black nation of the earth. Africa is suffering under the same wicked powers of this right race and having an awful time trying to rid herself of such a demon. She will do so and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make himself known with both the punishment and destruction of this mighty, powerful, rich people. Fear not, my dear black people, for we have Allah with us. He is the mighty and the strong and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I'll lead you to your starvation. Alabama. According to the article in November 25th, 1969 issue of the Wall Street Journal, written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, staff reporter, according to reports of our own farmer, the Muslim properties and life are being attacked by a devil, Miss James H. Bishop, called himself a missionary. He has started attacking us for a fight. The Muslim had lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshots penetrated by some coward, according to report of Mr. Neil Maxwell. This demon, Miss James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and American people into a war with Allah God and the righteous, which will be the end of white America and our people. We the Muslims are a people of peace and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. And of course, this demon, Mr. James H. Bishop, is proving himself to be just what he is made to be, a mischief maker. As Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, has taught me that he is. I warn this troublemaker that he is playing with fire, and a very hot fire, for he is not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, who welcomes the attack, for this is what he came for. As sure as Allah God lived, we will convert every black man in America to his or her own, and this includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama, who went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen in Alabama. And then some white enemy appears who called himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Miss Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get set up on the farm. At that time, he said nothing to us in the way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farm? We help him and pay him for his work. And there is no talk from him in the matter in which he is talking now. So this man have now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. Even goes so far now to even talk of killing us and asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds, and he is speaking in the direction of even destroying our property and cattle. He even makes it hard for us to buy gasoline. And the most ignorant and worst thing is that the gas attendant sell us the gasoline, and then we are arrested and charged with a crime for buying the gasoline instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It is very ignorant and silly. We have brought land and cattle in Alabama. We mean to get the profit out of what we bought. And if the government of Alabama intends to drive us out from our property, they will have to buy us out, not drive us out. If the government of Alabama is in agreement with the white people of Alabama and what they are doing against the Muslims, I want to say to the whole white America that we have Allah God on our side to retaliate against anyone who mistreat us. We did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. We are Muslims and the brother of Muslims. If we are not accepted by our brother Muslims, we must certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam. Allah, whose proper name is Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who came to us without observation, as it is written of him. However, he makes his work manifest. The Nation of Islam idea, again, is to build better countries, homes for the black people. I said to the whole American white people that you can never win against anyone outside or inside of America as long as you seek to mistreat us. As it is written in the Bible, he who contains with us, Allah God will tame with him and give them their blood to drink like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah God. We make no trouble with anyone, but Allah God retaliate against anyone who make trouble for us or who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar. The strongest hold of this American government is falling to pieces. She had lost amongst the nation of the earth. One of the greatest power of America was a dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the meter of exchange between nations. The English pound and American dollar have been the power of the backing lights of these two great powers. But when the war went off, gold and silver standards, the financial doom of America and England was sealed. The pound had lost 50% of its value. American dollar had lost everything now as power backing for a currency which was once backed by gold. Of every $5 note and up, all of her currency was backed by silver from a dollar note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value, silver or gold. The notes today is something that the government declared that will not give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing the currency with silver or gold. This is the number one fall. It is very clear that the loss of the power of American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing from our notes, we do not know. What should we expect even in the next 12 months under this fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% inflation. What could happen under 100% inflation? Your guess is as good as mine. The power of gold and silver was once abundant in America, but the touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation has now caused the crumbling and fall of America. We can easily and truthfully liken this fall of America to the prophet picture given in the Bible, Revelation of John 18, verse 2. The name Babylon used there does not really says whether it is ancient Babylon or a picture or some future Babylon. The description it gives as follows. He, angel, cried mightily with a strong voice, with authority, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, it become the habitation of devils. Allah has declared the people to be a race of devils, and to hold every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The description here gives to the Babylon by the prophet compared with the present history and people of America and their fall. The picture shows the cause of her fall. Number one, she had become the habitation of devils. And being the habitation of devils make her a haven for every people that love the work and doing of the devil. Here, the prophet refers to them as being a whole every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. People are referred to as birds, snakes, beasts, fish, and other animals to represent the characteristics of that person. It is universally known at the very beginning of American people, was from the lower class or European people. And their first ruler, President Washington, was a fugitive from England. And the common dissatisfied and lower grades of European people followed and boasted his authority. This field inhabited America with a very low class and low base people. And then this type of people went into Africa, purchased slaves from amongst our people, who was also uneducated, most of them, but there was a few who was highly educated. All of these began to mix with low base, evil mind, real citizens of the Western hemisphere, whites. And when America began to get strong in power, she opened her doors to unprivileged laborers in overpopulated countries such as China, Japan, and Europe to seek citizenship in America. This brought into America one of the most mixed people who was granted the freedom to live any kind of life they choose. They was not forced to serve the God of the universe who made heaven and earth, nor any religion. They have freedom of worship. This make America a haven for any people who wish to be free of the competitors of religious and just rule and authorities. This people for the past 500 years have put into practice every evil that is imaginable. The freedom of uncleanness is granted in worship. The percentage of sexual worship of the same sex is greater than any government on the face of the earth. Little children are being taught sex almost from the cradle, making the whole nation, as one man put it, nearly 90% freak of nature. It is common to see on the streets of any metropolitan city of America man sweethearting with man and women sweethearting with women, little boys with boys and little girls with girls. It is common that a decent family is puzzled as to where to send their children for schooling. There are no all girls schools as they once were. They are all girls' schools of sweethearts, the same sex falling upon their own. See, boy college are breeding such filthy practice. The jailhouse, prisons, and federal penitentiaries are all breathing dozens of homosexuals. As the prophet says in the 18th chapter, she is a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. There are types of hateful birds. This is why a name is given. It means human being. There are birds of prey and birds that are unclean, such as crow, owls, blizzards, ravens, who live and thrive off the carcass of others. There are unclean people living and thriving off the unclean. It is time that God intervene to bring about an end of such people as the wicked white America. She offers the same filth to all of the civilized of the earth. She hates you if you are against her way of life, would threaten you with death as the Starmites did Lot and his followers. But I said to you, as the fourth verse of the Revelation 18 verse 4 says, you that want to be a better people than this, come out of her. The so-called American Negro are referred to here in the fourth verse as being God's people. My people, come out of her, that you be not partaker of her sins, and that you receive not of her pledge. This is a call to an American so-called Negro to give up a doomed, wicked people that have destroyed them from being a people worthy of recognition, and who have now become lovers of their enemies and destroyers. The fifth verse tells us there are sins that reach into heaven, and God have remembered her iniquity and is ready to destroy her. Her destruction comes quickly according to the eighth verse, that pledge, death, mourning, famine, which come in one day, 1 year. Then after that, she should be destroyed by fire, burned. This is backed up in these words, strong is the Lord God who judged her. Here it gives us a knowledge that he who judged is well able with power, with wisdom, to make judgment against her. The destruction of America education. The pledge of Allah God against this educational system of America is something that the philosophers and scientists should look into, as the destruction of American education is the destruction of their wisdom to educate the people. There are many who looks on destruction without taking a second thought, the destruction of American education. Education is a guide for the people to keep and maintain a civilized life. It is education that civilized us. Now to see the citizens of America rebelling against the American educational system is something that the rise should take thought of. The American people actually have come to a point where they hate their own educational system. This means that they are now hating and destroying their civilization, because it's education that civilized people. The American people no longer want the education, and they are destroying the very houses that house their textbooks education. They are rebelling against their teachers who teach education. They are fighting their teachers, and then they set their houses on fire, schools, colleges, and universities. This means, in words as I have said above, that they are destroying their own civilization. The black people of today who are blindly helping the white people to destroy the civilization are like Samson was in his day and time. He helped to pull the buildings down, but he was blind to the fact of destruction of the building. All Samson wanted to do was to get even with his mockers, who had put out his eyes, who laughed at him. Samson did not care whether there be a civilization left behind him or not, was willing to die blind to the knowledge of the future of his people, those people he was destroying. Throughout America, college, her universities, and her teachers are in danger. The students no longer want an old world guidance. It's a new world that they want. But in a mad destruction of the old world, they do not know how to prepare for a new world civilization. They do not have guidance for a new civilization. And a madness, they refuse to hear a teacher teaching of an educational system of a better civilization, the civilization of the black man. The wisdom of an educational system of the black man of the earth have never been known to this world because the black man was put to sleep in order to let this world white man try itself at ruling. Now, the rule of this world has been found to be dissatisfying, and the dissatisfaction is 100%. Allah God has come to take over and to guide another people and to set up a better educational system for the people of whom himself is the head. And we all get guidance from him, as Daniel said in his prophecy. God would set up a kingdom and he would not lead into the hands of others, but he himself will guide it. But first he must remove all this rubbish of this white man's world educational system. He discarded America's educational system as we discard rubbish to be burnt up. The black man who hears the teaching of Islam feel proud that he had been taught something that he had wished for all his life. But the average black man that hears does not accept it as he should. He accepts it in such a way that he can be criticized and mocked, for he wants to take a piece of it as he had done in the past. And he ran away with it, claiming that he knows this. He would try to set up something for his own from a few words of it. They stole the black man behind. They do this through envy, jealousy, proudness on the parts of the person. This is the way the black man of America is divided. The devil knows that the black man is proud and envious. The white man helps him to be this way, so that the black man will never get any place toward self. The black man takes such steps to divide himself up. Look how the devil is teaching our people division now. The devil goes and get everyone whom he can think of for the black people to allies them. Look how he named streets after Reverend Martin King and Malcolm because he was the devil's disciple. See, Reverend Martin King was not disciple of the black man. He preached integration with white people and become white folks. And then the white man killed him. The white man does the same to you. Although you follow what this white man tells you to follow, and you worship the white man. Many times I have remind you that Reverend Martin King was not trying to separate you from an enemy, but instead he was trying to unite you with the enemy. You see, Reverend Martin King was not seeking a home for you as Moses was seeking a home for Israel, who was opposed in Egypt. In the modern days, America, I'm seeking an independent home for you. See, Reverend Martin King did not do this. See, Reverend Martin King taught you to submit to this white man and to become one of them. All your life, you had known that this is destruction at the so-called freedom. It is the same as a dog returned to his vomit. The black man was vomit out of the white man, and now he goes back to this white man. The white man is right when he said that you are free. You are free, but if you go back to him for him to put the chain on you again, he would do so. Malcolm flew out from us as a hypocrite. He went and joined white people and worshiped them, and he got what he preached for. Now the white man named college after Malcolm only to get you to join in a philosophy which he left behind, that white people are good. Malcolm went to Mecca and saw white people. Instead of joining in with the black man, he joined in with the white man. Although he was taught the white man birth and death, he preached it as long as he did not turn the enemy against me. He turned the enemy against me, for he wanted my place over the people. And he thought that by going over the earth and making a mock of me, he would do just that to get rid of me. But the very people of Mecca and Egypt and other places he went, they are with me today. Here in the United States of America today, I have more followers than I had for Malcolm said a word. You cannot disgrace one whom Allah God has taken for a friend, for he has the power to keep your disgrace to nothing. The white man teach you to worship Malcolm in order to lead you astray. against me. You come around trying to argue with us. I do not give 2 cents for you follow Malcolm. If you want to follow him, you will get divine death and destruction with no one to give you any honor or respect. Only the devil who you serve. The devil set enemies and hypocrites for you to worship in order to pull you away from me. You know that you will be a fool to follow enemies and hypocrites, but that is to turn you away from your starvation, which I am preaching. You cannot prosper fighting against me, for Allah God is not with you. He is with me. It does not matter how many devils you have with you. You can have a world full of devils, but that will not amount to anything. Show how anxious you are to get what this devil offer you for following his guidance. Allah God came to put an end to the enemy, the devil, and their powers to rule. This you will learn. I am not without power from Allah God by any means, regardless to whether every one of you reject follow me. I mean the whole 30 million of you. That will not stop me or condemn me as being able to lead you. You black people in America are no more than a small family. We have a world of black people that I can continue to teach. They are so anxious for me to come and teach them. After I teach you the truth, it is immaterial to me whether or not you believe and follow me. If all the little black organizations who are trying to do something for self unite with me and make a complete body one, we will most certainly have starvation in our hands at once. If we all want to be like Christianity, with each one setting and enjoying his little part, one day they will lose their part. The destruction of American educational system is the best thing that Allah God could do to get rid of that which you depend on for guidance. American educational system has never benefited you and me, only to keep us slave to the white man. We the black people want an educational system that will bring us into unity as a man before Allah God. We want an educational system that we can read in the light of ancient and modern history. We want an educational system that will guide us into tomorrow, not an educational system that is dying today. What hope can you have in a world that is crushing and bursting as America is? Do you think that we'll be here and that you will go back like you were before the war? I said you wait and see. This is the end of white America. Allah God will destroy her, for she is the most evil one of the right race. America is more evil than Europe. America is worse than her father, England. Look what is going on at the present day. Day and night, black men have no respect for you nor for your women. Yet you desire America's civilization. Still, you want to destroy it. Now, what do you want, my dear man? I think that you should first prepare to replace that which you are destroying. I advise you to unite with me and let us build a nation like a single house. A united force is always better than a divided one. I say unite with me, for I cannot unite with you, for you do not have anything for me to unite with you for. You have nothing but a chain carrying it around that any rise civilized man can take and bind you with continually. You may be able to wreck the whole America, but you have nothing to replace it with. Revenge is mine, said the Lord. I will repay. Look how he's repaying America with rain, snow, hail, earthquakes, fire. These can destroy America at once. But he bring her destruction upon her gradually. As the Holy Quran teach, Allah God bring the wicked to nothing, little by degree. For when the wicked cannot perceive, Allah God came to give you better names that have a better meaning, a greater meaning, an eternal meaning. These names of Allah God will live forever, but the names of the white man will not live forever. Allah God offers you and me heaven at once, not heaven that you are dead. If we do not accept heaven, he can also put us in hell if we reject his help. Remember, the destruction of America's educational system means the doom of America. You are not left to wander aimlessly. The Holy Quran plainly teach you and me that Allah God will not lead you to wander aimlessly. Allah God has the aim and purpose to you and me. So come and follow me and learn the new education for the black man. It's not designed for you, the black man in America alone. It's for the black people all over there. Take it or leave it. Savagery in America.